What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite candy lady, MrsiCandi, and I got everybody's favorite girl, Miss Karma Fox, in the building.
Hello.
Full-time barber on TikTok, y'all. Last month.
Y'all crib, girl. Yes, I'm here.
In these TikTok streets getting famous, y'all. Okay, so listen, guys. I'm so sorry about last week. Let me just say it. That was my fault, not Karma's fault. Okay, so I have been battling, and I think I said this on air, this toothache. I finally went to urgent care because I called like the emergency dental people, whatever, trying to get in with them. And then I'm gonna need to get like antibiotic in my system before they can do anything anyway. So I went to urgent care and I got on this antibiotics and it's still hurting right now because the official first day I started was Sunday. So I'm thinking maybe it's Wednesday. Maybe I need because they gave me 10 days worth. So maybe I need like at least 5 days in me before I start complaining. It still hurt because that's what I want to do. So I numb my mouth really good. So I got like 30 minutes, y'all, before I start looking funny over here. Like, so we got to see what happens. I'll be like orangelling it all day, y'all. I need to get a membership because this stuff hurts. But we here for the reality TV review, y'all. It is Wednesday. And y'all know last week we did the Housewives of Atlanta reunion part 2. So that's over. But guess what's back? Love and Marriage Huntsville is back. Now, I just watched the show this morning. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But I watched it and I took a few notes. I didn't get detailed, but hopefully the stuff I put will trigger me and Carmen to remember the scenes and we can just go in on it. So this is Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6, episode 16. All right. Okay, so Carmen, I don't know if this was the actual first scene. I feel like it was, but this is when I start paying attention because I had it playing and I was like heating up my food, like trying to do a whole bunch as it was playing. So I picked up where Tiffany was at home with the baby and Melody came to visit. Is that where it started? Okay.
That's when it started. It was messy Tiffany and us checking on the baby.
Wow, the baby was cute. Baby was so little, y'all. I love babies when they that little. Oh, side note, y'all. Y'all see this beautiful beat face today. I look a little extra glamorous today because I was at the makeup room downtown Cincinnati on Main Street supporting my sis and makeup artist Liz, actually. Liz did my makeup today and she did a good job, right? It was cute, right? Y'all see the beat?
Wait, what's her info again so we can put it in the chat?
The Makeup Room. So it's THEE Makeup Room. It's The Makeup Room on all social media platforms. So it's The Makeup Room on Facebook, on Instagram, on I think TikTok. I don't think she has a Twitter yet, but she's on Facebook and Instagram for sure. The Makeup Room, THEE. Make sure y'all go to the page. Y'all like them. If you are local, support them. Go get your face beat. And if you are local and you're not into makeup, share the information with some people. Y'all help this local Black woman build this business. It's such a dope business. They take walk-ins. They're open. What is it? They open Tuesday through Sunday from like 10 to 6, guys. Walk-ins and appointments are welcome. They do all events, all shades, all colors. They got diverse makeup team. You'll see me in there sometimes on the phones volunteering because I love to support businesses. I booked 3 appointments today. Just because I'm cute. No, just playing. So yeah, support y'all. Support. I love supporting Black-owned businesses. I love supporting women entrepreneurs. I love supporting my people, my circle, my folks. So yeah, make sure y'all support as well. But I wanted to get that because I'm sitting here looking at myself like she did so good. Look at the brows. Okay, girl. You know, when we do this, Carmen, I'll be having my hair pulled up. And I'll be in the bed.
Did you take your pictures for your content? Because I feel like anytime you get your face beat, that is when you're supposed to do all your social media content. You're supposed to do about 15 different pictures.
I know. You know what?
Don't let that Go to waste.
Yes, I got some there, but I didn't do nothing like else. I need to like do a rant. I need to like get on and do like a 1 minute rant about something just because I'm cute.
Because you need to go ahead, like every time you get your makeup done for all social media content creators, y'all need to go ahead and plan out about 4-5 different things on that.
But you know what? This wasn't planned. This wasn't planned. That's what happened. This wasn't planned. This just, I'm here. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be inboxing her offline and telling her before she go to bed what kind of TikToks and reels she gonna do tonight. That's 2 to 3 minutes.
And y'all send me some too. If there's something I can go in a topic, I might need to talk about Tyler Perry because I'm a little irritated.
You can do girl, it's been a bunch of stuff. You can do Tyler Perry. You can do Remy Ma allegedly cheating on Papoose. You can do that blue face person, that Bluetooth and Christian.
I can't talk about Blueface.
I can't either, girl. I can't talk about Blueface. That's a hot topic, but it's tons of stuff. It's tons of stuff in these streets, and you gonna talk about.
That's if you like it, I love it. When I talk about that stuff, that's if you like it, I love it. I just
that is your personal thoughts too. You have a beat face. I need you to go ahead. You know why? Because it's like advertisement. Or if you like it, I love. That's how you gotta look at it. The face is beat. Go on and tell people what you're thinking about, so then you could be like, and if you want to hear more,
then you need to check it. Okay, I got you.
Come on now.
Okay,
come on. Oh, we just had a whole strategy content meeting.
Come on, Jesus. We having meetings, you know, while we do it. But okay, y'all, back to Love Marriage Huntsville. So Melody goes see Tiffany's baby. She's home with she had the baby. The thing that was interesting to me was that Tiffany was first of all, she said that Melody was the first one to come and see the baby. And this just goes to show you that I really appreciate Melody, because even if, like, let's just say, because some people like to talk about Mel, right? And I get it. Mel's not perfect. She has her things about her. I like Mel, though. I rock with Mel. I like the way she thinks her thought process is, right? But even if Melody isn't really a friend of Tiffany and really cares about Tiffany like that, she still showed up when Tiffany had a baby. How the baby doing? Here your gift for the baby. Let me see the baby. Like she actually cares. Even if she don't care, it's the effort. Ain't nobody else called and said congratulations. How the baby doing? These your friends?
No, because in real life, Tiffany messy. Who calling her? Martell after you did what you did with Sheree.
That's true.
You know, you said what you said to Tisha about the Black Expo.
Like, you know what? It is calling you. It is Tiffany. It's hard. It is Tiffany.
It ain't got nothing to do with the baby. People don't like Tiffany.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I guess because they all was at her baby shower, you know what I'm saying? And they said how sick she was. That's the last time we saw Tiffany. Was at the baby shower going to the hospital.
Girl, that's a paid cast event. But to film privately with Tiffany, I'm sure Carlos can't get nobody else to do it
but film with her, but Mel.
Mel.
So Tiffany being Tiffany tells me, have you seen what happened to Kiki? Did you see Kiki on Crime Stoppers? Kiki did it. And I like Mel because Mel sat there and just was looking like, Mel ain't give no reaction. She ain't say, "Ooh, yeah, girl, I saw that," and she ain't say, "Oh no, girl, that ain't her." She just was like, like straight face. I was like, "That's smart," because you know they get memes off of these faces, and she ain't give nothing. She ain't buy into it.
But girl, her face was still memeable, because that's what I do when people come to me about somebody's business or something at work, like, and I don't care. I just,
But it was real, like that ain't my business. It was very much so. Yeah, I saw it. What's your opinion? I have none. You know, like it was just very much so like. But Tiffany was like, oh, I mean, like, how do you feel? Like, would you want her like around you, like your brand? I know you like to distance yourself, like with her like having like criminal charges and all of this. Wouldn't you don't want her around your brand? I'm not sure. I was like, Tiffany, girl, you just had a baby. Come out your coochie. Chill out.
Respectfully, what brand does Tiffany have that she's worried about?
But that's what everybody is saying on the show. They don't know what she does.
She's like Tommy from Martin.
Tiffany ain't got no job.
Well, we don't know exactly what she does. And so, like, what brand are you concerned about that Kiki's presence threatens you? You talking about Mel, but how does her actions directly impact you because you're on a reality show. That already could have been something you were concerned about, whether it impacts your brand. So what are we talking about? Tiffany is here to be messy, and that's what she gives us every single time. She's like that Ashley Darby, the Sheree. She just gives us mess.
Right. So do you think Tiffany wasn't really worried about her brand? Do you think she was trying to bait Mel into giving something?
Tiffany is there to create the mess. Okay. She's here to move the story along. Mm-hmm. Okay. She's here to move the story along. She is the person who asks the intrusive questions that she is the viewer of the show. She's here to ask the things that all of us ask on these podcasts and reviews and all that. That's Tiffany's main.
I guess, but Tiffany doesn't do it right because the viewers don't like her. So if that's
she does exactly, she do, because there's always a TV villain on every show. Tiffany plays the role she is supposed to play, and she plays it well. Because the first half with her and Sheree was entertaining.
That was,
but it was entertaining. So why wouldn't she come off still breastfeed and start in mess? She did it right. What Tiffany do?
That's gonna make her milk sour. The baby don't need that shady milk. Like, I'm gonna need you to just focus on being healthy and taking care of the new baby and healing. Let's just not be messy, Tiffany. I'm sorry, but the Sheree part was funny. I ain't gonna hold you. It was inappropriate though. Like, it wasn't funny enough to where we was like, yes, keep doing it. We was like, I mean, I'm happy you did it, but that was wrong, girl.
Like, there's a balance of like, she's messy enough where it doesn't turn dark, like, to me, Giselle. Real Housewives of Potomac. When she did what she did last season about Chris, that was a line that you shouldn't cross. Her Phaedra, that's a line that you shouldn't cross. She's the right amount of mess for this show. She's intrusive. She gives shock value, but she doesn't bring the show dark like Miss Wanda does.
Right.
She's the right type of mess. And that's what she does. And that's why Mel just said, okay, well, you don't have to hang with her. And it's really that simple.
If that's gonna mess with your brand, you don't have to be around it. You know? I'm like, you go, man. How do y'all not like Mel? Mel is giving tips, okay? I really feel like, you know how we talked about Housewives and we was talking about Phaedra and how you was like, I don't like Phaedra. She one of them Southern shady, Like, Phaedra tried to paint herself as a Southern belle, right? We found out that it was extremely dark. It was extremely dumb sometimes. Like, a lot of stuff that she did, it wasn't very Southern belle. Supposedly, I think Mel gives us enough of it where it could be shady, but she's still classy enough where she's not gonna go that low. Melly will go low only if you F with her, and she's not gonna be like catty and shady and talk about people, like, you know what I mean, like, to get joy out of it. The only time she said stuff, it was people that was effing with her. And you know, once you mess with me, all bets is off. I really, you know, I can just go hard. But to sit and gossip about Kiki, knowing Kiki got a drug problem. We don't know, well, allegedly a drug problem, and knowing that she's allegedly being accused of this Crime Stopper when she ain't done nothing to Mel, like, yeah, I saw that, but she ain't done nothing to me. I ain't about to sit here and, you know, like, talk bad about that girl.
Well, my thing between Mel and Phaedra, and why I really didn't care for Phaedra on the show, I don't know her in real life, but she always seemed inauthentic to me.
Okay.
She always seemed inauthentic, as if this Southern belle type of thing was a respectability politics act. And maybe it wasn't an act for her. Really, she is. Maybe respectability politics was just something I can't rock with. With Mel has some character flaws that I have seen that, you know, but I hold her accountable for. But all in all, she feels authentic for me. And that's why I can gravitate towards Mel. There are things, like I said, I hold her accountable to, like I do in my Candy Yams. But overall, I like what I see, and I feel like I could relate to Mel in a real life situation. I could not do that with Phaedra. I would never talk to Phaedra in a real life situation for me.
I feel you. Yeah.
So that's why I don't really care for her. But I love the way Mel really dealt with this scene. And Mel is always a great listener. And then she give you about 2 or 3 sentences, and that's all she got for
it. And that's smart of Mel too, because the way they flip this, they like to turn it and make it a certain kind of way. She get her point across and she keep it moving. Like, she ain't gonna sit and dwell and do a whole bunch, because these girls take it another way and that it don't need to go. For real, Mel ain't really cool with none of y'all.
Well, Mel is making people earn their check as far as personal story.
Because they weren't using her.
They
was riding her.
They were riding Mel's divorce and beef between her and Martell. And then Kimmy and Keisha wasn't giving us nothing. They weren't giving us nothing. And I feel like Mel is in a place where you're not going to keep riding the back coattails of her drama that she has with her ex-husband. That now y'all going to have to bring your own personal story into this fold. And I feel like that's where Mel is at. And it's a good place to be, honey. You ain't got to be in the center of drama every season.
And I like it. I like it for her. I love it for you, Mel.
I love it.
Okay, so then we go to Courtney. He meets up with Marceau.
Oh, big energy Courtney.
Now, I just put as my notes, Marceau irks me. That's all I put for that whole scene. So Courtney does go meet up at Black with Marceau because remember, before the break, Marceau came at Stormy incorrectly about the $100 vendor's fee at the last minute. And I mean, do you feel, we talked about this, but just refresh, do you feel like he came at her incorrectly about that money?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like he came at her? Would you feel like it was aggressive? Was it aggressive? Was it disrespectful? Or
it was unprofessional.
Yeah.
It was disrespectful. Anytime, in my opinion, you are unprofessional, it's gonna come off as disrespect.
Yeah.
And so with where we left off at, it wasn't the $100. It was the way it was presented.
Right.
So I am setting up a space, and on the day you are trying to collect funds that were never discussed, and then you're trying to berate me and talk down to me about this random $100 that was never discussed. And I'm not sure what type of business you operate to get money for vending the day of. That is unheard of. You get it prior to, it is part of your registration to have a table. You have to pay to secure the table. So once you did that to me, I feel like, Stormy's reaction to it was legit. And I would have tagged my husband in as well, especially because of Martell's history with talking to women.
Yeah.
If it was like, a situation where I felt like I could have a civil discourse about it and come to a resolution, he just happened to be a male, I can take care of that on my own and update my spouse later. But because of Marceau's strong misogynoir that he exhibits, I absolutely would have had my husband talk to him.
Okay. So let's talk about how Courtney approached it. Courtney came in kind of smooth, like, "What's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah, it's good to see you. All right. So how was the Black Expo?" He was like, "It was good. It was good." He was like, "Oh, okay. I heard that y'all had some issues with, like your vendors. Did you get your vendor fees?" Everybody but one vendor fee didn't get one. He was like, "My wife." So then we talked about that. Like, why you always talking to women? Like, I don't. First of all, why wasn't it told to her in advance? Y'all ain't tell us nothing about no vendor's fee. And he was like, "Well, normally it's a vendor fee." It don't matter if normally why you ain't have one. And let's just be for real. I have done 3 women empowerment conferences that I have thrown and I have funded on my own, right? So I did have vendors for my event, right? And I had a vendor's fee. And in order to secure your spot, you had to pay. It wasn't even a deposit. You had to pay $25, $35, $50 vendor fee in advance to book your spot, right? That's just protocol when you do these vendors fees. Now, what also happened was I had speakers at my event, and my speakers were authors and entrepreneurs, and they had like merchandise, things like that. Because they gifted their speaking to my conference, they got a free vendor spot. It's just protocol, baby. So if you gonna have Courtney come up here to speak, she's the only one on your panel that gave any type of added value to the conversation. She comes up there and she's going to give this for free. She gets a vendor's table. And if it's something else where she has to pay, you say that. You sign a contract. This is going to be blah, blah, blah. But because y'all was doing up the strength of y'all all friends, the comeback group, a circle, Mel ain't coming, can you replace Mel type of situation, you ain't mentioned no vendor fee. I just feel like it was very unprofessional and tacky And it's not like, yeah, people have to get a vendor. Usually, yes, except for this situation was different, Marceau. She was a speaker at the conference, at the expo. It just sounds really dumb to me that he's making it seem like it's common sense that vendors pay a fee. It is, but it's also common sense that your speaker that you're not getting paid gets something for this. That's a part of it. I don't know why he, who is supposedly such an intelligent businessman, doesn't get it when a local business, people can do it on the local level. It's just so weird to me that he would think that. I don't know. It was just really weird because I've done these events before. And even on my very first event, like when I hadn't done any and seen anybody do it, because I did this a while ago before women empowerment conferences were popular, I was doing them. And I instantly knew how to handle vendors. I thought it was common sense. To me, it's weird.
I just think that the real story that we're not getting from Tisha and Marceau is I really don't think they are good with financing and business operations.
Yeah.
One thing that, people want to say whatever about Kandi Burruss. One thing we got to see with Kandi is her at the restaurant, situation and the health inspection thing and the issues with that, right? And she was very transparent with that and that whatever was going on within the restaurant. And not having a backup generator and just all the ghetto-ness behind the restaurant and that they slowly improved upon. And with Tisha and Marceau, you can't convince me that y'all are operating in good business. Mm-hmm. There is some offness about it, I don't know if it's scamming, honey, or y'all just don't know how to add and subtract. I don't know, but there's something off about it, right? Mm-hmm. I don't get it. Like you said, this is common sense. So if we're not understanding it on this level and then thinking about how Mel had to introduce sponsorship, mm-hmm. right? Y'all cannot tell me that something ain't off.
Right.
Which, Marceau has told us that they were in a lawsuit for a partner they were supposed to build on. I think it was like a season or so ago. Mm-hmm. And then we got this manor that ain't even got a foundation laid, right? That y'all done had this plot of land. Now y'all in this apartment. There's something with finances that y'all have an issue on. And that's y'all real personal story that y'all are not giving us.
Yeah.
Somebody using a Capital One credit card to pay the light bill. And can't nobody convince me otherwise. Because why are y'all in this apartment to have a renovation? There's plenty of people who have stayed in their house to renovate. Something just doesn't sound right. If you're trying to save money in order to build the actual home, why are we renovating anything? Shouldn't that money go over there? Unless this is going to increase the property value. And if so, why would we get an apartment instead of just staying to have to maneuver through the renovation? Mm-hmm. Where are we saving money at to get this dream house built? That's what I'm saying. Something ain't adding.
Yeah.
2 and 2 ain't coming together to be 4.
So I was looking at our last video, right? Of us talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville episode 15. And I was like, we was talking about this trailer before this new, this other half of the season. And I was like, I'm so excited to see Courtney check Marceau, like, ooh, I'm gonna see what happened. He gonna go in there. And you was like, ain't nothing gonna happen. He ain't gonna do nothing. I was so disappointed that you was right, because although Courtney did say something to Marceau, he did say, like, you don't talk to my wife like that. Like, you always talking to women like that. Don't do that. I feel like he ain't do much.
I told y'all really thought Courtney was supposed to come over there and knock some glasses over and rock his shit. I told y'all none of that was gonna happen. I told y'all gonna start listening to me. Them little sound bites and clips, man. Listen, I knew it wasn't gonna happen. I just knew it. The year that fight happened, and with Miss Wanda and old girls boutique, I don't think OWN as a network will ever let that escalate like that again. Not on OWN. You can take that to Zeus. You can take that to Love. You he didn't even take it to Bravo.
Yeah.
But I feel like OWN crosses the line with a lot of physical altercations on their network. And so I don't think we'll ever see it escalate to that. However, for what Courtney gave, it was cool. I just knew he wasn't going to give that type of energy. But for what he gave, especially giving $100 to the bartender, loved it.
Yeah.
And then told him to give him that money because that's your tip.
That's your tip. I know that's right. So I mean, I do like Courtney. I like Courtney a lot. I just felt like it was kind of pointless to have that meeting. Marceau was a jerk. He was not listening. He don't care. Like he just don't care.
I feel like the only thing that Courtney was missing in his monologue to Marceau is establishing a boundary and consequence with him.
Okay.
So Marceau is who he is, and he's a misogynist. And so in this conversation, I would have been really clear. When there is discourse going on and my wife is involved, you are not to speak to her. If this happens again, there won't be an on camera that can get me out your ass.
Right.
You could take it how you want to take it. You know what I mean? You keep going back and forth with whoever. I said what I said. And that's the part I was waiting on. I want him to fully understand you are not the person to be messed with. And whether we want to make this to the physical altercation, if it needs to, it can go there. But what will not happen is you ever speak to her when there's a discourse going on. You have shown you don't know how to speak to women, and so you won't be speaking to my wife like that. You need to come talk to me and give me the energy you think you're gonna give to her.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted him to end with, and then putting $100 on the table for the bottle of water.
Yeah, here's a tip.
That's what I want to see. I told you I'm gonna do a real ninja course 101.
And that's it, y'all. Like seriously, we don't have enough men that understand that's the energy that we need. That's what we call big D energy. That's what that means. That's what it means. Because I promise you, if Courtney did it like that, and his wife like seen the clip, like because she wasn't there, so he can go home and tell her what happened, but he can't see it. But they at home 2 or 3 months later, and they watching the scene, and she see him doing that, he would have got some so good that night.
Because we can have a conversation about it, but I need to establish a clear boundary on what's not ever going to happen with my wife.
Yes, that's not acceptable.
And whether you want to take a Chris Rock approach or not, it's in your hands. But know that I also have a Will Smith hand that can be available.
This is why. Okay, so side note, you know how women are talking a lot about wanting a protector, want to be protected. It's not necessarily always, you have to fight. It's not always you got to do something, but sometimes you do have to make things clear. I don't play about mine. So what we're not going to do is this. You know what I mean? Like that, you ain't had to punch him in the face, but you did warn him, like it can go there. If it
can go there.
Right.
We have some avenues we can approach, but I'm telling you, this is a boundary that if it is crossed, these are some things that may be happening as well. Because and the way that our money is long over there, because they got a whole estate, I would be petty and I start seeing if y'all trademark and I start buying some of y'all stuff. Stop playing with me and mine, because it can go either way. I can mess up businesses and blackball with the money I got, or I could beat your ass. However you want to fight, don't talk to her like that.
Exactly. I love it. Y'all see that sound clip?
That's the way I would have did it. And I would have came with him. This might have been too girly, but I would have came with a receipt because I know they slow. Black might not even be trademarked. I will own the likeness of your restaurant if you keep playing with me.
Yes.
About mine. Because you ain't got the money to buy it. You ain't even got the $100 from the vendors. Stop playing with man.
Period. Okay. So then we go to Kimmy and Letitia. They meet up. Letitia is having her house they meet up at Letitia's apartment that she's in temporarily. Letitia says her house is being built, like the manor, no timeline. And no timeline on this other one, the renovations for this other one.
No,
like what?
I'm sick of her lying to us. I'm sick of it. There is no way that you got a budget with no timeline, because the longer it go, the more expensive it is. If the project is to take 8 weeks, anytime outside of 8 weeks is a cost of labor. So you're not building a damn thing talking about we ain't got no timeline, because I've never seen any project that is being flipped or renovated or whatever that don't have a timeline and a budget. You got me messed up.
How do you think the audience would have taken a storyline where they say they lost everything and had to start all over? So
we would love it, because here's what people are missing. Nobody wants to watch, because everybody be like, we love drama. No, we love real life. Nobody wants to watch a show where you keep telling us everything happy, because that ain't real life. Nobody wants to. I don't want to watch a Zeus network of all negativity and fighting. Right. I want a balance. There are times where you're up when you're up and you down when you down. You have a platform, so might as well put it on your platform, because you know what happens? People then say, let me go buy her hair care products. You gain support off of authenticity. So you being scared or embarrassed, but you have agreed to sign up for a reality show doesn't make sense to me. You might as well put it on the table, because if you don't, the bloggers will.
Why don't you pay attention to how Mel's story is? We saw Mel her marriage go down. We saw Mel try to stay with a man that we already knew was trash. She still tried to stay with him. We watched her try to defend him, fight other people with him, try to do this, that, and the other, and he still dogged her out. We saw Mel at the lowest of her lows, right? Leave her husband, go through all of this, and look how she's supporting in the glow up is by her just telling us the truth. And
look how many people support her skincare line and how that took off.
Yes,
she was able to create a new avenue because her story impacted so many people who had been with the narcissist and been in those situations. And so there are people who have started businesses, are in businesses, and are unable to make a profit or made a profit and haven't recovered from the pandemic. Your story would be impactful. So just tell the truth.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what they think the embarrassing part of it would be, but I think that we like humans. We like human stories. We go through this real stuff in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the business is struggling, the business is struggling.
People aren't.
Show us the process.
People aren't confident. When you decide to either be a content creator, an entertainer, celebrity, whatever avenue where you are in front of people, or you decide to be a public figure, you need to, number one, make comfortabilities with the skeletons that are in your closet, because they're going to come out. And if you are not mentally healing, prepared for whatever, what's gonna happen is that people gonna tear you up in them comments, and you gonna fall into pieces. If you broke, you broke. Somebody on my TikTok telling me I'm broke and why I can't get no haircut don't bother me, because I'm gonna say, girl, I ain't got no money. I've already made peace with me being broke. I don't know what you think you're doing over here. I told y'all I'm broke. I have literally used every one of my resources for my child and my children. I'm okay with that. When you are already okay with your ish, you don't have a problem, put it out there. Something is going on. They're not comfortable, okay with, all of that. And they're holding on to this image.
And it's been like that since they came, though. They haven't given us any real authenticity at all in their storyline since they got here. And that's why. We can see it, even though you try to say you're not. We can see misogynistic, Marceau. We can see Letitia being like jealous and a follower, and like we can see it. We can see.
And maybe she might not know she was all of that. Sometimes you're not self-aware with some of your character flaws until you get on the screen, but you are aware of your bank account.
Yeah,
you're aware of your checkings and savings. So I don't know why they lying to us about that. But
and the husband cheating stuff too. Like when they was like, your husband got 20 women, she was aware of some of the cheating. It's not. I'm not gonna say 20 women, but I feel that Letitia and Marceau have definitely dealt with him cheating in the past. So I feel like she is aware that her husband has cheated.
And listen, and if she would be like Tammy, remember Tammy and Waka Flocka?
Yeah.
Tammy ended up leaving. Tammy told us, I'm going to stick beside him.
Yeah.
You just gotta own whatever the decision you're going to make. However people feel, you just need to own where you're at and what you're saying. She don't want people to think her husband cheated because you was all up in that Mel and Martell. Y'all, didn't want to tell Mel that he was doing. You don't want that type of backlash that people gonna have a little bit of, unfortunately, fun in y'all demise, but it comes with the territory. Just own it. if he cheated, just come out and say it, because Kiki is apparently this season. So you might as well you should have just told us.
Yeah. Okay, so then Kimmy is finished with cancer treatments. She's and she says she's done with chemo and done radiation. She's finished with cancer treatments. I wanted to ask you this question. And it's a good thing she doesn't have any treatments anymore. They didn't say she was in remission though. So what happened? She just has to wait a while. She said she was doing a lot of testing.
Well, she is in pretty much a remission state, because once she had the surgery, so the first half of the season, remember, they had already told her that they didn't see any cancer. The chemo treatment worked. They added the surgery, and she is in a remission state. She has finished everything. She is in remission. Think of it this way: if you're not in remission, or if you're not taking chemo, you are either in remission or you chose not to do chemo and allow it to be wherever it's going to go. In Kimmy's state, it's in remission. Her testing is going to kind of be continuous. She's going to have checks more frequently than the average, because she's had a history now of breast cancer. And so those tests are just to ensure that it doesn't come back. And if it does, that they catch it again in an early stage.
Okay.
But Kimmy is in remission. She rung the bell. That bell ringing means you made it through.
Okay.
You beat cancer.
Let's just give a good thank you, Jesus, and we are very happy that Kimmy is done with the cancer. Okay, we are very happy that that's done for her, and I'm happy you shared your story. Look at the outcome. You know what I'm saying? So that's beautiful. Because that's scary. That's one of the diseases that take a lot of people. So very happy that this turned out like this for her. Her husband irritates me though. But then we're gonna go to that. That's my last topic. I got one more, and then we're going to that. So then we got Martell. Martell meets up with Chris Fletcher. Chris Fletcher tells Martell, dude, I was a little irritated at you for summoning me and my wife to court. He said, what you mean? What you about? Yeah, we was upset. We didn't want to be summoned. We told you we didn't want to take sides. Oh, no. I mean, I said anybody that I summons, you just tell the truth. Like, if it make me look bad, it make me look bad. But just tell the truth. What the truth is. That ain't what you was thinking, Martell. Ain't no way that you got these people summoned expecting them to make you look bad. Let's just be 100. And then we know now, it's not even alleged. We know, because on the last episode, you was mad at your mama because she ain't say nothing. Well, mama, I was a little upset that you ain't say nothing. I was disappointed because Martell, I said the truth. I said what happened. But you ain't like really say nothing for real. Like, you wanted her to say what you wanted her to say. Just like that's the reason why you summoned Chris Fletcher and his wife, because you want them to say what you want them to say. Like, so I understood what he meant. Like, we was irritated. We told y'all we wasn't taking sides. We both y'all friends. We love both of y'all. Like, that's irritating. You know what I mean? I felt Chris on that. And then Martell went up there and lied like that ain't what he wanted. That is what you wanted. That's what you told your mama. So I was like, shut up. So then we find out that Chris, he's in real estate. He's trying to sell the house, I guess, that Martell is currently renting from the seller. And he was telling Martell, like, you got to get out the house, whatever. And he like, why I got to get out right now? Like, and it was crazy. He said, I'm trying to sell the house for the seller. He was like, but I'm your friend. Like, you know what I mean? You should, like, once they get it, tell them to give me like a 90-day notice. He was like, they're not going to do that. I'm your friend though. Like, you're going to put like business before friendship. Yes. This is not my property. I am the realtor, you know what I mean? And they're ready to sell it. I have to sell it. What did you think about that? It was the audacity and the entitlement of him trying to stall to get out this house that don't belong to him. What did you think about that, Karma?
Martell, another one that needs to go ahead and tell us that you ain't got no money. I'm telling you, the truth will always set you free. It may be uncomfortable, but the truth will set you free. You should just tell the truth. Chris, I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got no money. Deals ain't coming through because he ain't got his builder's license yet, right? We don't know where this wine situation is, right? He was supposed to have like a suit endorsement. We don't know where that's at. All of these things he was supposed to be working on, we have not seen since whatever episode he discussed it. You don't have no money, Okay. And so you need to be honest with Chris. And instead of having a conversation where you blame him for you being broke, just tell him you broke and how can you help me would have gotten you a lot further in the conversation, because he may have been able to say, let me make some phone calls. Let me tell you, he might have been honest with you and say, it ain't going to be what you used to, but I might can find you something else. You know, it ain't gonna look like what it's looking like. It ain't gonna have enough room for 4 bedrooms. It might be 3 people, might have to share some bunk beds. You may have to start from scratch, but I can find you something. That could have been a whole different transparent conversation, and you could have talked about still trying to rebuild after Mel. Again, the truth will set you free if you just say after Mel, because Mel headed all of this, I am still trying to figure out how to do what she did. And I ain't got no money. He might even be more relatable. People might actually like him if he just tell the truth.
You know what? I just think Martell needs to stop fighting the truth. Like, he got moments where he tell the truth, like when he got on some interview, and he wasn't doing it to be honest and authentic. He was doing it to try to pander to certain women, and it didn't work. But the truth was, you was effing around on your 80% wife, which is the facts. You know what I'm saying? And you was risking it all for 7 years, but it's 10% of a coleslaw, and you just messed up. Like, you really messed up. You blew it, buddy. You blew it. You blew it. You blew it. You gotta accept that L, buddy. You blew it for years because your wife tried to make it work with you.
But he has a mental health issue that he's not addressing. I don't know if he is a narcissist. I don't know what it is, but he has some psychological issues he's not addressing, because this level of delusion is concerning.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Very concerning. This level of lying when the truth is there in your face, and you're still trying to find ways to take it apart or blame people for it. There's something here that you're not willing to address, and it's going to impact all of his relationships around him. The Fletchers are gonna stop being that man's friend.
Yeah, everybody is.
Yeah, he's gonna be isolated.
His mama gonna cut him off. It's about to be like this brother, that one brother that's trying to do stuff. It's just about to be real bad for him, because
everybody is. He about to be real isolated, because that's what happens when you have these particular character flaws, and it impacts the relationships around you. You've already seen it crumble with work relationships. Nobody's working with you. You've seen it in your spouse relationship, your romantic relationships. Those aren't lasting, and now you're going to see them in your friendships. So you're going to start isolating yourself from people because you won't come to grips with the truth.
The delusion is real. And I understand he does let us know that he still wants Mel. Like, we see it.
Not for real, because you'll say you want her and then do revenge P and then lie about that, and then lie about that.
He don't want her for what we think he want her for. He don't want her as, I miss my wife, I love my wife, she was my everything. Da, 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 da. He want her for what she can do for him.
And even in that motive, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
So even this, I want Mel one day, and then the next day I'm gonna lie and say I don't want that. I just want a co-parenting. Something's off with Mark. Honestly, in my opinion, Martell is very dangerous. And I don't know how he's still on the OWN network. He honestly gives me at times that he would take Mel and the kids and run off a cliff.
Yes, I be scared for Mel and her babies all the time. Because
like, once he loses everything,
that's the thing.
When I am literally thinking he's going to be very unsafe. Because look at
that's my fear. And that's why I get irritated with people like Kimmy and Ariane and the fans that be saying Marcel, saying nice stuff to him, and strays, and like, y'all don't get it. This dude is really like a loose cannon, and the way the universe is working with him right now is they are tearing him apart. Like, this man, he's fighting for his life. He keep trying to figure out how to win, how to save it, how to fix it. I'm gonna blame this person. I'm bringing it. Like, he is trying so hard to figure out how not to, and it just keep knocking you. Like,
absolutely.
Once he hits it and he realized, like, it's not gonna work for me, he is gonna be so dangerous for Mel and them babies.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the feeling at this point right now that rock bottom is going to be a transformation that, let me get into therapy, let me do things, because in my opinion, that rock bottom should have kind of already occurred.
It should already have
he reacts, that anger,
yes,
with it, and the way that he responds, I'm like, I'm really concerned that when that rock bottom happens, there's going to be something that happens, and we'll be all looking at Carlos King like there was all the signs here, and now he's flipping over cameras or doing this and this on set. He's dangerous.
And I feel scared. I don't think Martell doesn't love his kids or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. But I feel like Martell is so angry that Mel left him. Yep. That he will do whatever to hurt Mel. Mel loves her. Mel loves her.
That was a custody issue, in my opinion.
That's the only thing Martell has right now to Mel is her kids. He ain't got nothing else, because every time he did it, Mel would let it go. Fine, cool, you got it, let's dissolve it. I don't want it, I ain't gonna touch it. Like, she let it go, and then she still was able to prosper letting it go. She couldn't let go of her kids. So that's the only thing he got. That's it. And
that's why he did this whole custody issue. That custody was a pawn to get to her, just like the birthday day issue was a pawn to get to her, because she even offered, you can see her when we're done. So it's never about that. It is about the control and proximity of access to Mel. And and even this show is a proximity and access to see Mel. And so again, when things really hit a rock bottom, that may look like for him being kicked off the show, or Mel moving on from the show, Mel getting full custody. When things start not being, everything is closed, that's when I think he'll be the most dangerous.
It'll probably be when he loses access to Mel.
Exactly. When he loses access completely.
Because right now the show gives him, and that's why we be pissed at Carlos King for the way this is going, because y'all, we said this when we were reviewing it, watching these last couple of seasons, especially this one, when Mel has not filmed with Martell, how she acts with him, how she's totally like whatever. It's like y'all forcing her to be in a room with her abuser. Y'all are forcing this lady to have to face this abuser all the time, and it's crazy that y'all are forcing her to do it.
Yeah, that's
entertainment. That's not entertaining.
The group scenes with the comeback group and all of that, to me, was so unnecessary, because it's like the fact that nobody is understanding that this dude is wild and she don't need to be around him.
Dude, Karma, they get it. And that's something I saw somebody do a review on one of the shows, and they was talking about how they get together and they film like they don't know the backstory. We know a whole bunch, and we know behind the, like, we know what we see on social media and what we see on TV. Y'all know extra stuff on top of the stuff we know. So y'all got even more details, and y'all still acting like the stuff ain't like it's okay. Like Kimmy being like, Martell's really a nice guy. Kimmy, you know that is not true. You know that's not true. So why would you even say something like that? Like, me like starting to watch, because I really, really liked Kimmy, right? She was like my favorite one. But watching Kimmy say that, being like, and how she keeps kind of being nonchalant a little bit about Martell, like, girl, and that's what I said it last week about the Housewives reunion. Women just not having women's back. Like, the way they was not there for Drew, that's how they not being there for Mel. Like, y'all really sitting there knowing this is an abusive person, even if it's not physical, which I think it probably was, even if it's just mental and emotional, like, and verbal, this is abuse. Psychological, the way he is like forcing himself to be still present in her life. Like, y'all see this, because we see it. So y'all can't play in our faces like it's not there. And he's really a nice guy. So that turned me off from Kimmy. And then I'm going to just move on to Kimmy, because Martell had the nerve to.
And you know what? It's a good segue. We moving on to Kimmy, because I'm going to answer that question for you. They cannot be and show up for Mel, because Tisha and Kimmy are both with psychological abusers themselves.
That part.
can't show up for male. They're not in male's place of I'm leaving somebody that is unhealthy for me. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing that with Kimmy. And what Kimmy do, girl?
Girl, so Kimmy was with her husband Maurice, right? And they was like walking or something. I don't know, like, you know, out. And they were talking about you know, her being finished with, you know, the treatments and everything. And she was talking about her libido and how she had lost her yoni egg. She had been practicing trying to, you know, tighten up the, you know, her yoni because the libido was real low and she was trying to, you know, work on it because she doesn't want to be like, you know, she's still trying to sexually satisfy her husband, even though her body is telling her different right now with all the treatments and everything she's going through. She's still trying to figure out a way to balance and sexually satisfy her husband. We was talking about this before. So he was like, you know, like, well, what do you need the yoni for? She said, well, I'm trying to, like, you know, get it together or whatever because my libido was really low. I mean, I was trying to see how long it could last or whatever. And they were saying it could last a while. And he said he thinks it's a mind thing. It's all mental. Like, he doesn't think that her low libido has anything to do with medication or the cancer. He thinks it's just a mind thing. And that's the only reason why it's stopping her. And it was just so crazy that this man was saying that because this man also was like harassing her, like, well, how long did they say it's gonna take before you get back to basically being horny again and wanting it again and having it? And it's like, Maurice, your wife was fighting cancer. Like, cancer. It's hard for me to watch Maurice. It was hard for me to watch him do that interview with Carlos King and then get on the Fox Soul show and talk about this sex and these needs or whatever, and how it's admirable for her to fake it because, you know, he has a need for sex, and even though she wasn't feeling good, it was just admirable for her to still want to satisfy him and risk her health and all that to make sure he was satisfied. What would have been admirable is even if she was doing that, right? Even if your wife was through cancer, through treatments and tired and in pain, because they say chemo is so terrible the way it makes you feel. I have been told by people that have lost their lives to cancers and some that have beat cancers that chemo is crazy. Like, my grandpa was like, I don't want to do this no more. Let me go. Okay. So I was told that this chemo is really, really bad. So knowing that your wife, the woman that you committed to love, honor, and protect, is going through this terrible disease and fighting for her life with these treatments, and it's making her not feel well, her libido's low, all that kind of stuff. But because she loves you so much, she wants to still satisfy you. The fact that instead of being like, baby, you don't feel good, I would like you to rest. You couldn't be admirable enough to love her enough to say, no, babe, I want you to really get better because I want you to be here with me so we can do this later. You was like, hey, come on, Sicky, let me get that so I can feel real good. Like, I just think that it's like, Maurice is a different, I don't think, and maybe I do know some men like Maurice. I just haven't met a man that would vocalize something like that. But I find it really strange that this is like real, that this is how he really feels. Like, I'll be sometimes like, is he just saying this because, you know, we used to think they ain't had no storylines, or they ain't, you know, and he giving us something and he don't mind being this asshole, but it's like crazy. So he was like, so how long is it gonna take for you to get, like, you know, a year? Like, he was just so, oh, guys. I was like, he's serious? This is real? This is not scripted? Like, this has to be like for colored women, the girls, whatever. What's that play where Michael
Color girls?
It had to be part two.
Bending. Oh, so you doing the bending?
Yeah, this gotta be like a script for part two. Cause that's how trash this man is. He is that trash that your wife had cancer. Mm-hmm. And you like, bend over, let me get you still. I know you're tired, but let me get mine. Like, wow.
I want to know so bad from what's his baby mama name, ex-wife name?
Kiowa.
I want to hear him and how he showed up in that marriage so bad to connect the dots. Kyle will be minding her business. She'll never say nothing.
Yeah.
But ooh, what can we? I want Kimmy to do a sit down with Kiowa for real. I don't care about the side chick stuff. Kimmy, it was what it was.
Yes, it
You
was.
probably didn't openly participate as one, but her experience was they were still talking and it was what it was. I want them to talk about some similar experiences.
We won't get that unless Kimmy leaves him. We won't get that. She has to be at a healing stage of leaving him to actually get her to have an honest conversation with Kiowa, because again, I do feel like Kimmy has something to do with Kiowa's pain and the demise of her marriage, and Kimmy knows it.
I think she knows it now, but I think she really believed that their marriage was over. And I think that's her internal battle, where you probably should not have talked to him until the divorce was finalized. But I believe that you really thought that that was a done deal and all you were waiting for was a signature.
Right.
I don't think she willingly went in thinking that there was some form of reconciliation happening. And I think that, because she didn't wait until them papers was actually signed, that's what she battles internally with. But the reality is, Kimmy, it is what it is. What you really need to talk to Kiowa about is how trash your man was in that marriage, to go ahead and connect some dots for you in here, because them extra sit downs don't do nothing for us as viewers. We're tired of you talking about it.
Yeah.
But he probably showed up the same way with Kiowa. Why he want to tell you Kiowa was a cheater. That can coexist with a lot of other things that you are experiencing now. So yeah, that's why Kimmy can't show up for Mel. The fact that Kimmy is like still talking about how she can please her husband during and after cancer just says so much. She can't be like, oh my God, Martell is a whatever. Can't happen. Because you in there. And look at Letitia, like the way that Marsol is gaslighting and talks to her. Y'all really think that they have the capacity to be a girl's girl to Mel? They all in the same situations.
What do you think that transparent moment, right? I was unhappy for a while in my marriage, and I was just coasting, right? Just coasting to get through, thinking, maybe it'll change in a different season, whatever. I don't know. My first time being married. I don't know. Maybe it gets better. Everybody say you can't leave. Stick it out, whatever. So I'm thinking this is just life. So I'm coasting. I was still able to see other people who was in something similar and how it was messed up. And it made me look at my stuff like, is my shit toxic? Because what I'm seeing is not okay. What I'm seeing is not okay, and it's very familiar. Why is this shit familiar? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how you can be in something. You can still be in some stuff and in a position where you are in the same shoes, you're dealing with the same crap, but you can still see it's happening to somebody else. Like, it's weird to me that they can't see that Martell is trash, because I know Kimmy can see that Marsol is trash to Letitia. She might not say nothing because that's her brother-in-law, but Kimmy can see it.
I think with trauma, it happens in one or two ways. Either we're able to identify the pattern and leave, or there are people who become comfortable within the pattern structure. So there are people who can say, oh, I can see, this is jacked up, and you know what, let me reevaluate my situation. Right. And then other people are just like, oh, so this is how relationships work, because everything around me is showing me the same pattern. So let me stick it out.
Gotcha.
No, they're not, Martell ain't that bad because my husband ain't that bad. And blah, blah, blah. Like, you can rationalize things in a lot of different areas when it comes to trauma and things, especially when it comes to abuse, the ways that it takes a toll on you mentally and how you identify with yourself, and how long Letitia's been with Marsol. and Letitia has, in my observation from when she entered to us on the screen, she wasn't sure who she was or what she wanted to be, which is why she clung to Bill, right? Not having a sense of identity will keep you in a longer toxic situation. She signed up to be with Marcel with the understanding that she would be in this traditional role of a housewife, right? Until she got into it, and then that maybe not be what she was. Considering she comes from Wanda, I can see why Marcel looked like a better option than where she came from.
Right.
Right. Mel had a whole totally different upbringing, and Mel came on very strong as a person on our screen. She just chose, a situation that, really built her up, but she ended up getting back on track. Tisha's a very different situation. And with Kimmy as well, Kimmy was on the, him, she was like, whatever. I don't know enough about Kimmy. As many years she's been on the screen, I feel like I know more backstory about Letitia's upbringing
than we know about Kimmy's,
than I know anything about Kimmy.
Yes, all we can go off of is Kimmy presenting herself as a really emotionally intelligent woman when she first came.
As a single mom, she was a nurse. She moved into other fields, but I don't recall Kimmy's mom.
Yeah, none of that.
Meeting any
older too. We don't know exactly. She could be. We don't know if she foster kid, if she got parents. We don't know if they're.
I don't know anything about
Kim. We don't know.
Family dynamics. It doesn't really touch our screen like that. She is the most mysterious backstory out of the main cast, and I feel like if Kimmy, I love Kimmy's transparency and I love her storyline because I think it's very authentic. Yeah. I would like to see Kimmy's relationships outside of that marriage. Like, what is, you got a sister, a cousin, or whatever? Like, you got a friend that you talk to outside of this cast that can come on, that you can do a scene with. Right. All I see is your hairstylist and stuff.
We're seeing Stormy's family life. We ain't getting nothing on Kimmy.
We ain't got nothing from Kimmy, and that's a component that's missing for me to really understand how did somebody as emotionally intelligent as her come to him, or is a part of their dating process he isolated her from friends and family and then gave her Tisha and
Mel,
like the past, in the past, it came with his friends and all of that. I'm wondering if that's his
situation.
If that's her situation. That's the only thing I really want to see with Kimmy. I think I love Kimmy. I think she's very authentic to who she is. I love what she represents on the show as far as the dynamic. I just need from Kimmy, I need to see some family dynamic. I need to see more of what Kimmy, I keep seeing her with his family and his baby mama. Where is Kimmy's village?
I like that. We saw a little bit with the Karen, so like they'd be in a group, but we didn't get to understand, have conversations.
I am one person.
We know a village does exist for Kimmy. We would like to get to know them, and
I would like to get to know them. And what are they saying about your marriage?
Yeah, what they saying about what he said on these interviews, and he talking about he need to have sex when you sick and stuff. What Auntie saying about that? I want to know what they saying. Also,
I don't understand why we never got that. Like, in real life, Kimmy, who did you call about your concern? We had that one scene with that friend where she was telling her friend. We never see this friend again. And I just need a little bit more of how Kimmy operates in her village and how she maneuvers in the conversation she has amongst real family and friends of hers and not just the cast.
Agree. Kimmy was aware, because I guess Maurice considers the way he is acting about, he's being extremely obnoxious about this sex situation. When she's like, it's like I took medicine to my body that made me like this, and he think it's in her mind, and he kept like dragging that it wasn't medically or whatever.
And you know what? Even if that's the case, because you can have, and it's not the case for Kimmy, but there is a time when mentally your body's not reacting. Maybe you're depressed, maybe you're going through something, maybe you're not attracted to this person, your body's not reacting to them. However you slice it, whether it's mental or physical, if it is mental, did you play a role in that? Did you play a role in that? However you want to slice it, whether it's her problem because it's her body and her libido issue or her mental health issue, you still are not showing up in the ways that we need you to show up for Kimmy when it comes to this situation. You're not handling this the way you need to handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, she was like, it's about to be self-calls in a minute. Like, I'm like, it's not funny. You really coming off like an ass. I don't like it. I was happy that she said that, but I hope she meant it. You know, I really do, because I don't like it.
I don't think she did. I don't think Kimmy has appropriate boundaries when it comes to her husband. I've seen her boundaries in the way that she moves during conflict within the group, but I have yet to see that with her husband. She is submissive into the point of her own demise. And she is selfless to the point that she loses herself. And so even with her saying that statement didn't move my spirit, because this is not the first time that he has said things out of pocket. Even when it comes to how you raising his son, ain't no boundaries in that house with your husband. Ain't none. And I wish, that's what I said, who is gonna show up for Kimmy with that emotional intelligence she's lacking in this area and tell her the truth? I'll do a scene with Kimmy. I'll tell her.
Somebody got to.
Somebody got to tell Kimmy. You got to create some boundaries and some decisions.
So that was it. This season, the second half of the season looks to be pretty interesting and promising. We're gonna get more with the Kiki thing. Kiki gonna expose some Letitia.
Oh, you missed the Kiki scene where Kiki tried to explain.
Oh, I didn't even write that.
Kiki didn't explain.
I didn't even write it. Mel talked to her.
Talking and Mel was listening. And then she said, well, I just wanted to check on you because there's this Crime Stopper issue. And Kiki looking surprised, like you ain't see it on the television.
I didn't write it because I was just like,
I liked it because I love that Stormy's reaction to it.
I did like Stormy.
She needs help, because that's the honest to God truth. If there is a relapse situation that's happening here, the way that y'all talking about it, that's not even funny. It's not even a way and a lane. She would really actually need some help. And y'all up here talking about your brand. If this girl has relapse, it's bigger than that.
I did like.
I don't know, Kiki, something.
Because they're throwing it.
Kiki relapse.
I don't understand what happened, and Kiki ain't even explain it.
I need to see more in the season to come to a decision.
Yeah, because I don't understand. I'm like, huh? What?
I need to see more.
She was at Home Depot stealing something, had her son do something. Like, what? Like, I was just so like,
I need to see more of Kiki to make a decision of concern right now. But if there is a Crime Stoppers going on, and let's say you didn't know because it wasn't you, it's somebody that maybe looks like you, but it wasn't you, I would have asked to see the video or something. You know, I just, something's off.
And I would also say that was not me, like, for real. You know, I don't know.
I'd have been confused. Like, Home Depot where? What day? What are you talking about? You got the video? What are you saying? And I'm thinking, like, so did Tisha not call you and say, sis, is this you? Did your cousin not call? The way that she looked surprised confused me, because you telling me nobody in your family, this is the first time you're hearing it with Mel. Why are you looking like that? What is going on? Why you ain't got nothing for us for real? You done talk for 2 hours that they done cut out.
She talked, y'all. She just talked.
Mel said, how you been? And that girl said, well, let me start with my day. I had a biscuit and then I warmed it up and I added some jelly on the girl. And you know, this is going on and this is happening. And this, you know, she went everywhere.
She went
and Mel was so patient. She just kept nodding her head and it was like, well, I'm glad. I got you a shirt, push through. Come on, advertisement. And I just want to see what's going on, because this is what's happening. This is what the group is talking about, right? Something is off about Kiki. I like Kiki, but there's something I just can't really put my finger on. I'm
nervous. I'm nervous with Kiki though, because I really hope that Letitia didn't bring her cousin on to explore her, and she got like real problems. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm real.
Now I'm gonna have to stick up for Letitia here. Kiki brought her motherfucking stuff on that show.
Yeah, but if Kiki got a problem, like a real one,
in their defense, they said that, didn't they?
They didn't say that.
Said that no, they said this is why the beat happened. They told Mel and them because Kiki said I was on the running, and they said, "Did you know she got an issue?" So we ain't even about to bring now. That's where I'm gonna have to draw the line. We can't blame Letitia Marceau.
I agree with you. I feel like was the issue the bed bugs? Because that was the thing.
They said to have your pain medicine. Remember, Marceau made a joke about it. Letitia and Mel told Kiki, and Kiki said that wasn't funny, and I've been clean and all of this. So technically, they have already brought it and said she has an addiction issue. And they have already discussed it. So true. I don't think that's fair to say that she has anything to do with exploiting because Kiki came in on Mel, not on Letitia.
That's true. I guess I'm feeling like Kiki's issue might be even deeper than just a substance abuse issue.
Well, all of them are. You get on a substance to distract yourself from whatever real deep issues that are too painful for you to want to discuss. And they're also mental health rooted, a depression or something else added to that, that then makes you want to use a substance to block those things out. So there is a deeper rooted issue going on, but I can't put my finger on what that is completely for Kiki. Kiki is too, in my opinion, too eager for television. It's like she grasping too hard. That I'm concerned if this doesn't work out for her, she's not gonna have things to bounce back on.
And I guess that's where I'm at when I say I feel like I need to be warned a little bit more. Like it's not just like, oh, she, like it's just like the Martell thing. Once Martell hit rock bottom, it can get very dangerous. I feel like Kiki, if she has the problem I'm thinking, it can get very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? As well.
Yeah, something with Kiki. So that's what I'm gonna follow this season out because Kiki's looking like she's doing a lot of talking.
Yeah, the way that concerned me. That talking part concerned me so much. I was like, what is she doing? Like,
yeah, I'm just not fully understanding, Kiki, because even when we look at how you came back to us with the whole pajama party and you wanted, as her cousin, to tell her, you wanted to introduce this information to us was odd.
Yeah.
It was odd. I get why Mel wanted you to do it because Mel don't F with Tisha, okay? So you can put her business out throughout there. She can use you as an eye. It don't matter. But for you to be that eager to want to be on TV to discuss your cousin's marriage or to have an issue so big with her, you want to bring it to television.
And this is
something off about the way you handle the discourse between you and Letitia. And then I'm adding things together too because Letitia said that she wasn't invited, or Kiki said she wasn't invited to Letitia's shit the first half of the season, right? Letitia invites her to the things she had going on, and then you don't show up, and your excuse was something about a car. Like you couldn't get a car. Why couldn't you get a car? You couldn't go to Enterprise? What do you mean you couldn't get a car? What do you mean it's transportation? So
they got deeper problems than.
Well, I'm adding it because one thing with addicts is they make excuses. So when their habits start going down and you start seeing changes in behavior, or they're not showing up the ways that they should, they start to make excuses for it. Oh, I forgot about this, or no, I'll get to that deadline, but they was really high. So I don't want to put that on her. That's what I want to follow.
I think I'm starting to have a thought that these people on Love and Marriage Huntsville is
take some allergy
in the same tax bracket as we are. That's what I'm starting to think, right?
Well, respectfully, Kiki, I would understand, because if she did go through an addiction, she's not a main cast member, so we don't really know what her husband does and all of that. I wouldn't be surprised if their finances isn't as solid, right?
But I mean, it could be
but
like
she ain't said that, so I can only assess what I've been given.
I'm thinking Kiki finances is given very, very regular. Like, she ain't got money to keep up with.
But you telling me you couldn't ride with Letitia?
But that was the issue. She was wanting Letitia to offer her a ride. That's what she was trying to say.
But you didn't tell
I
her
don't have transportation.
You ride.
You know, like, what's up? Like, maybe she ain't have a car. Maybe she ain't have no money for a car. Maybe, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they live in.
Tell her that y'all are building your relationship.
Yeah.
You don't think you should?
I didn't feel like she meant
focused on her day. That's like you getting an award, and I'm supposed to show up for you, right? But I don't have a ride. Yeah. Are you focused on me getting there? I gotta figure out how to get you there
for my award, right? And I totally understand that. I'm getting that. What I'm just thinking is Kiki is trying to be on this show, and she's trying to present herself as in a certain tax bracket that she not. Just like Martell not being able to pay that $1,500 bill, he faking the funk. You would think right now on the platform that they're at, the houses that they be trying to have, the way they present themselves. Oh, Inez wine. I got these wine suits. I got 4 kids. I got another baby mama. I'm gonna take care of her. I bought her a BMW. I got this and the other. You should be able to afford a $1,500 bill, right? I'm not doing that, but I'm really starting to think that y'all living paycheck to paycheck, and them own checks ain't that high.
First of all, them own checks probably ain't that high. The highest checks are probably Bravo, so it's not due to the network. It's not that high. You're in a probably like WeTV tax bracket. You might be making maybe $50,000 to $100,000 a season. Probably sounds about right to me. For y'all, and that's a regular person's annual salary. So,
yeah, it is. They very regular.
It's definitely not giving Candy Burrs at Bravo, but that's not the issue. We know when y'all started, Mel and you know what I'm saying, Martell were together, and all you have to do is say, right now I ain't got it.
Yeah,
I told you. Kiki's story could be a recovery since the addiction. Just say you ain't got it, sis. Mm-hmm. Just say you ain't got it. You don't have to be in this tax bracket. You already told us you were suffering from addiction. You lost your professorship job. You're trying to get back on the scene. I ain't got it. Can I get a ride? I don't know why people so scared to say they broke in inflation. You ain't the only person struggling.
I think that's it, though. I think that is it. That is it. In my opinion, that's what we're dealing with on this show. A lot of people trying to fake like they got it. Marceau and them and his wife Letitia trying to fake like they got it and they don't. Kiki trying to fake like she got it, she don't. Martell trying to fake like and he don't. I feel like Stormy got it. You know what I'm saying? She actually got it. I feel like Melody is doing good. She doing all right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Melanie got, because Melanie got something. Melanie, listen, Melanie ain't in my tax bracket for sure. Right. So I'm not saying she in Candy Bird's tax bracket, but she ain't in mine. But she ain't in my tax bracket.
This is one thing about Melody. Melody ain't told us what tax bracket she in.
Melody is smart in the way that she moved, just like she didn't go get a warehouse. She's saving overhead costs, so she's packing it in her home. But you can tell by her home and then the inflation that even in Huntsville, Alabama, the house that she got probably still ran $500,000.
Right.
Even if it's in Huntsville, just because everything market wise is up on a lower end scale, that house is probably $500,000. So you know she got some money.
She got some, but she ain't flossing it like she ain't like doing this and that and the other. Melody is actually hustling and building.
Melody always wearing her clothing, t-shirt every other
season. You see her in her brand all the time, t-shirts, hoodies. Like she's always like, and I like that. She ain't giving us like no fake thing. We don't know how much she make. She look like she cool though, like she ain't hurting. You know what I mean? But she ain't giving us no fake facade of I got this going on, that going on. Like Marceau, they built in the Scott Manor. They got this other house they're remodeling out in an apartment. Like they got black going on there. You know, like he's trying to make this facade that they got this much stuff when they probably really ain't got it. For real. That's what I'm feeling like. They just ain't got it. And what you faking for? Who you faking for? Because we ain't telling you we got it. Why you faking? No.
Because the premise of the show is successful business people, us following them. But again, a business goes up and down.
Yes.
You don't have to front because people don't want to see all the time that you have no issues in business. People want to see the authenticity of how you navigate through the conflicts of your business.
And what I did like about Love and Marriage Huntsville when it first come on, I felt like these people initially were very relatable, right? Like they are some people that could be my neighbors, type of situation versus people coming. Because when we first got Atlanta, this was the elite, rich Black people that go to certain parties. Love and Marriage Huntsville was like some classy, normal people. Like they work hard. He got a decent job. They got a little family. They married. They ain't like celebrities and rich, but they doing the daggone thing. It was like goals. Like I could get this. This is attainable to me. Like I want to have a husband and some kids in the family, and we got a good business, and we do like it's relatable. It's like dreams, and it's like so we can see it. So when stuff is up and down, we watch it. Like, dang, okay, yeah, that happened to my friend. Her husband cheated too, and like you can see this stuff, and it's super relatable. But if the business went down, we have this happen too. Like, just give us the truth, give us real. I feel like they holding on to trying to be Housewives of Atlanta, and y'all not Housewives of Atlanta. We didn't like the show because we thought y'all were on the level of the Housewives of Atlanta. We didn't watch this for celebrities. We watched this because we thought we were getting some reality. And now what y'all doing is y'all trying to fake the funk and not giving us the real. And that's why the show was going down.
I particularly like this season starter episode. I thought it flowed very well. I thought it gave what it needed to give. I found I didn't snooze fest a lot like I did the first half of the season on this episode. If it keeps this momentum and we keep getting more, I'm okay. I feel, especially when I get to Tisha telling Marsau, I can't answer that for you. When we start to get to some of the things, okay, as long as we're moving the story along. If next season, like we moving our story along and we still ain't getting another line with this finances in this house, it just depends on how we're progressing. Right. I don't expect in a real reality that, sometimes you just gonna come on. It would be nice that you always gonna come on the screen and tell every single thing. Right. I know that people want to keep some things for themselves. But it's starting to be apparent. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have to make peace with it and move your story along. Yeah. Gotta move it along. So we'll see.
Do you think this is gonna be a good second half? Like just from what they gave us in the little trailer teaser after? Like
I'm not excited. I'm excited. Let me put it this way. I think that this second half will probably be a C if I'm grading, because what I believe is going to happen is that just like the Real Housewives of Atlanta trailer, it gave, but the season did not. Right. And so I cannot gauge right now what it's going to be, because y'all had us thinking, had y'all thinking Courtney was really rocking something. I knew he wasn't rocking nothing.
I was ready. I was ready for Courtney.
He was never going to slap. He was never going to do all that extra. So I have to kind of see it play out, because even with Kiki telling Tisha and Marsau's business, how did we get to that? Why are we telling that? So depending on how things go,
the way they edited too, it could not be even that. The way they edited and slice stuff in, we might not even get that conversation. So
I will get it, but if it comes and it doesn't feel natural, it just feels salacious, it won't hit with us. So if Kiki is just coming and talking, like I said, Tiffany finds a way to strategically make it entertaining. She's the villain of the show with the mess. So if Kiki comes off extra thirsty and I want to tell all my cousins business, it's probably gonna fall flat, especially because at this point, if no one comes with a receipt on Marsau, we don't want to hear this again.
We don't at all, period.
So if you bring this up, you better bring the receipt with it, because we've already exhausted this storyline about him cheating on her.
And we believe it. No one is saying, oh, I don't believe he did it.
The only person he done did it or acting like she don't is Atisha. We don't care unless you're giving us like a Coleslaw had a baby. So unless y'all giving us something, dead that. What else you got with Tisha? We're tired of that. So that's why I said I can't really gauge, because just seeing that part of the clip with Kiki already was like eye roll. Because we don't care, Kiki. We don't care. Seeing Marceau and Kiki husband, I don't care. I don't care. So that's what I said. I can't really gauge. But what I do want to see is Letitia tell Marceau. I want to see how that conversation about that pregnancy go. So there are some aspects I want to see play out. But I feel like at the very end, it'll just be a C. It'll just be.
What about Kimmy and Maurice? Do you think the Kimmy and Maurice story is going to remain about the sex thing the whole time?
Yes, and that's what's going to make it boring.
Okay.
There won't be a nuance or layers to it. It will just be about Kimmy talking about how to have sex with her husband. And again, if I'm not seeing Kimmy in a setting outside of that man and Tisha, if I'm not seeing some other stuff, I no longer want to only talk about Monster and sex with them.
Right.
What else is going on in your life?
Agreed.
Right. So I that's what I said, just depend on the flow of the story.
Okay. Well, this episode wasn't bad. It kept me. I was intrigued. So we'll see what happens. We'll be back either tomorrow or Friday with hot topics. Follow us.
Let's make it Friday. I've got a meeting tomorrow in the evening, but I'm open on Friday.
Okay. All right. So see y'all Friday.
Thank y'all so much.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye-bye.